is a show that focuses on the person behind the brony. I'm your host, OsakaJack. Please sit back and relax as we talk to this week's guest brony. Hello, everyone. I'm OsakaJack, and welcome to Into the Spotlight. Tonight, our guest is from a very sunny area, much more so than mine. Ms. Meredith Sims, hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm a little tired, but I'm okay.
Yeah.
How are things in your world right now?
Things in my world are busy, but good. But like you said, very sunshiny. Florida is a lot brighter than Indiana. So I'm getting used to it.
Future's so bright, you've got to wear shades.
Exactly.
You know what? I just suddenly realized how few of my listeners, and possibly even you, would get that reference. But, okay, that's all right. I'm just old.
I'm sorry.
So, there may be some people who don't know you. Would you mind giving an introduction?
Sure. My name's Meredith. I'm a voice actress in the community, and I've also been doing some writing for animations lately. For those of you that know Snowdrop, I was the voice of Snowdrop and also the writer and director for it. And I've done a few other voices. I was Twilight Sparkle for Fighting is Magic. I am Fluttershy in Twilight the Unicorn and other Silly Philly Studios things. And whole bunch of other like little things scattered around the fandom. I was Blossom in Double Rainboom. I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm in a whole lot of little things right now.
Right.
It's hard to think of them all.
Do you have a master list so you can check just in case? Oh yeah, I was in that.
I don't have a master list, but that is a very good idea. I should do that.
Yeah, I know that, a lot of the voice actresses that we hear, like Tara Strong, for example, quite often will have no idea exactly what she's been in.
So she has a list. That is very smart. I should do that.
Yeah.
When I have time to sit down and actually like write something out.
Oh, the when I have time thing. Yeah, it's never getting done then. Okay.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
You have a chance. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But yes, you're in a huge upheaval now, aren't you? Because you are changing your venues.
Yes, I mean, moving. I just graduated college, so
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you very much. I just graduated, so I moved all the way from very cold Indiana to Florida, where my parents now live, and I'm going to be moving again to Orlando Sunday afternoon. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I've got a lot of things in boxes right now. So, yes.
I can understand that. I've changed apartments enough that, honestly, I don't take things out of boxes unless I'm sure I need to at this point.
Yeah, some of the things I didn't even unpack because I knew I was just going to have to repack them again.
Exactly, yeah. And you know what? Honestly, you put a bunch of boxes in a corner, throw a sheet over it, it's a makeshift chair.
Perfect.
Nobody
yes.
has to know,
Nobody ever has to know. I can take some of the stuffed animals from my giant stuffed animal bag and make a cushion.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah, there we go. It'll be a Legion stuffed animal bag.
Yes, exactly. That's pretty much what it is. I maybe have 40 or 50 stuffed animals in this gigantic laundry bag that I'm taking with me. My poor roommate, there's not going to be any room on my bed. It's just going to be stuffed animals.
Well, I suggested it at some point to some people. If you put just little lightweight shelves on your wall and put all of the stuffed animals up there, it is the best sound dampening device ever.
Oh, that would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, the place where I'm going, though, does not allow anything on the walls.
Oh.
I know. I was so upset. I wanted to put up, like, posters and things.
Yeah.
Nope, no artwork, no nothing. No Christmas lights.
Oh!
Not allowed to do that. Nope.
Now, okay, I hate being this guy, but how specific is the rule? For example, if you were to hang something from the ceiling that would fit in front of the wall, would that be allowed?
No. See, where I'm moving into, since I'm working for Disney, that's why I'm moving up to Orlando. I'm moving into Disney apartments, and nothing on the ceiling, nothing on the walls. They give you a bulletin board.
Okay.
And I mean, there's a lot of very strange rules. Like, for example, we aren't allowed to have lightsabers in the apartments, the plastic lightsabers that you would get at Star Wars Land, because they're considered weapons. So,
Huh. Okay.
there's a lot of specific rules, so you have to follow them, and they have inspections every month.
Huh.
So,
Well, I mean, everybody knows that Disney's going to be strict about a lot of things, and I'm not trying to defend anybody, but I can understand that you can't really enforce some rules and not enforce others. But at the same time, come on.
And I can imagine the people that got the lightsabers outlawed.
Yeah.
Since it's a college program.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the best lightsabers, honestly, are you take those big pool noodles, cut them in half, attach them to a base, and then you can whap away everybody and nobody cares.
I think those are allowed, so I might just take that idea back.
Yay!
I think pool noodles are allowed. I think that is one of the things I'm allowed to have.
Cool. Yeah. Just get the pool noodles and bappity bap 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 bap.
Perfect.
It's not, I mean, it's a bit of a floppy lightsaber, but, you could just pretend it's a soggy. It's the humidity in Florida.
Yes, there you go. Oh, I'm not looking forward to August, but no.
Yeah, that's going to be, well, I'm honestly not sure. How are Indiana summers?
Very bad.
Okay.
Actually, it was hotter in Indiana last year than it was in Florida.
I believe that.
But the humidity here is so much worse.
Okay.
But
St. Louis gets hotter and more humid than most of the rest of the country. So, yeah. Yeah, humidity. I would recommend purchasing double the towels that you think you need, just because showers are going to be your friend.
Oh, yes. Well, my hair is very thick, very curly, so it's basically going to turn into an afro come August. But I'll deal. I'll get something to fix it.
Well, you know what? I mean, we were talking about it a little bit beforehand, but there are definitely some characters in One Piece that you could cosplay as.
Yes, there are.
Just have the big old fro already ready.
Boxer Luffy being one of them. Except I'd have to dye my hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd already have the afro. No problem.
Exactly. Or, I mean, if you wanted to go blonde, you could do Bobo 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 Bobo.
Oh, no. Oh, no. He bothers me.
That's the point, I think. I really do.
Oh, Japan.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm not a character. I'm going to be doing merchandise. Probably, I think I'm going to be in Animal Kingdom. And I think I get to do the Midway Games in Dino Land, which will be very interesting.
Awesome.
If bronies come by and I see people in brony shirts, I'm totally doing the Midway Games in some kind of voice.
Yeah.
Just because that would be so much fun.
That would be awesome.
Yes. And they would probably play if I had, the spiel and I was trying to get people to play. I could just be like, if you don't mind, could you come and play this game for me? I don't really know how it works.
I'm throwing quarters at the screen already.
It will be perfect, and then they'll win some kind of little dinosaur toy.
Yes. As long as there you go. Thank you. I'm sorry, wait. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to shut up if you could just do it once more.
Yay.
The squeak was me, by the way. That was not her. I do this.
That will be the prize. That will be the prize. You don't get a toy. You just get a yay.
Good enough for me. I'm good. Yeah.
I'll keep the toy. I know people call it Disney brainwashing, which is funny. But there's specific ways to do things. Like I'm not allowed to point with one finger while I'm in the park. I've got to point with two fingers.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's rude in some cultures to point with one.
Yes.
And you've got to smile and smile.
Yep.
And you've got to smile again. Mm-hmm. and if I do get put in Dino Land, I will have to know things about dinosaurs. I don't know. I don't know much about dinosaurs. So
yet.
Yeah, I will have to watch Jurassic Park and Dinosaur and.
Oh God. I think anyone who has anything in paleontology just shuddered when you said that. But
I know, that was a joke. Jurassic Park isn't exactly the thing to go off of.
true, but we're talking Disney, so a lot of
Yeah.
people will believe. But anyway, yes, yes.
I mean, when you go on a ride where they make up a mythical T-Rex-like creature called the Carnotaurus that comes and attacks you, and it's basically a gigantic T-Rex with horns on its head.
Sorry. Laughing with anybody who had any hand in designing that, not at you. I'm laughing with you.
That would be from the dinosaur movie, not from that's the movie's fault. That's
Right,
not
right.
the ride's fault.
Have there been any well, I don't know if it's gotten that specific yet, but is there any word on, say, forbidding of other characters to be displayed in your apartment, such as, I don't know, pony?
Oh, I'm sure I'll be allowed to have my ponies.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, probably
I
not,
don't.
parade around the park with it, granted.
Yeah, I don't think I'm allowed to. Well, I'm not allowed to wear any kind of barrette. I don't think so, which is sad because I wanted to wear my pony barrettes, but I'm not allowed to wear any barrettes. But it's my apartment. I'm pretty sure I can do whatever I want as long as I don't destroy anything or hang up anything on the walls. So I'll have my Twilight Sparkle Balloon nightlight and
Cool.
yes, and my gigantic brushable collection. And
Nice.
somebody is making me a Snowdrop custom, so
Oh,
hopefully
nice.
I'll have that. Hopefully I'll have that soon, and I can
Nice.
add that to the collection. I really can't wait to get that.
That would be nice, yeah.
Hmm.
I have seen a few of the artisans starting to do some Snowdrop stuff, and I think they look really cute.
I know, and it makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Oh man, when the first plushie showed up, just the entire team was like, "Ah, plushie!"
Oh, that's so cute.
And yeah, and somebody made me a Christmas ornament, and
Aw.
yeah, I know, I love it. She's so cute.
Mm-mm.
And I'm hoping there'll be some stuff at BronyCon because that's one of the only cons I can make it to this year. But I don't know if
Okay.
there would be anything in like the actual vendor area with Snowdrop like that. I don't know. I think that
Would be.
maybe, but that might be too tall of an order.
Uh, I just from my original perspective, again, I haven't ever sold anything at a convention, but I would think if I were an artisan, I would be more concerned with creating a Snowdrop figure just at the offhanded chance it might offend somebody at Silly Philly Studios, rather than whether or not the main six would.
Oh goodness, no. We love seeing Snowdrop stuff. I know. Well, I do know one vendor is bringing a few Snowdrop things. The Paper Pony made a
Yes,
Snowdrop
Shadowbox.
shadow box. Yes, and he's actually giving me one. It's so nice of him.
Cool.
But yeah, but he's bringing along a few of those as well. So he'll probably be one of the only ones with Snowdrop stuff. But the entire team has decided. I remember we were talking one night on Skype, and we were like, if we need to make it a challenge where we all go into the artist alley and run around, and if we see Snowdrop stuff, just yell, and the entire team will come running. So we want to see it. It's just
Yeah.
we don't know if people would actually make that because we don't know if it would sell. But
I think it would. I think Snowdrop has enough of a popularity. I would hope.
I would hope so, since we're going and we have a panel and
You know what? Let's formally introduce it, just in case anybody listening is not familiar, or for posterity. What is prosperity? I said prosperity. Posterity. Could we describe what was Snowdrop, or what is Snowdrop?
Snowdrop it was Silly Philly Studios' really big major project over the past year. It was a 15-minute long, around that 15 minutes, animated short. An original story about back 1,000 years ago, a little blind filly named Snowdrop who creates the very first snowflake. And she becomes friends with Princess Luna through that because they connect through finding something beautiful and something that people really didn't like at first. In the short, the ponies don't like snow. Snow is kind of this icy, sharp material, but then Snowdrop takes it and makes it into something beautiful.
Yep.
And the whole point of it is to show that everybody has a purpose. Everybody can do something special and important.
Right.
So, I mean, it was really dear to my heart because, I mean, I had written it
Hmm.
and I didn't even know if the team would like it because it was about an OC,
Hmm.
and OC stuff usually doesn't go over very well.
Right.
And the team really liked it, which made me really happy.
Mm.
And we worked and worked and worked. And just as it's gotten a very positive response so far, and that just makes me, I don't know, I'm really happy that, but I'm also a little shocked that it got as positive a response as it did because it
Mm.
was an OC story. I didn't expect it to get a very positive response.
Just I honestly have no idea, but my idea on it, possibly the fact that it is an OC from 1,000 years ago, may have made a difference in it, in that it could have been canon, sure, and it doesn't
Yes,
it doesn't upset any of the present day myth or story in
that
its
was very
existence.
important to me. Yes, when I
Yeah,
was writing it, I didn't want to mess with anything that I thought would be messed with in canon.
right.
I tried to pick a topic that I didn't think would even be covered in canon because
Hmm.
we had Hearthwarming Eve, so
Right.
we already kind of had that snow kind of Wendigo thing.
Right.
So I was hoping that this would be something that I could do with the team that wouldn't affect anything
Right.
in the main storyline.
Hmm. I frankly, I appreciate that. I understand when people take creative license and do a story or a song or even an animation with something that didn't happen, but at the same time, I like it when it can be a story that fits with the show that I love, and it
Hmm.
doesn't change anything or doesn't force me to look at it in a different way. I like that.
And we tried to make Snowdrop as well. I know a lot of people, one of the criticisms was that it felt very forced and that Snowdrop was Mary Sue-ish. I've heard that many a time, but we
Really?
tried
Hmm,
our
okay.
best. Yeah, we tried to not make her Mary Sue, not only from her physical limitation, but the fact that in the very beginning she doesn't know how to stand up for herself,
Hmm.
and at the end she does stand up for herself.
Right.
And I think that reflects in a lot of people. I know it reflects in my own childhood.
Mm.
How we go to school and we have to deal with. A lot of people said that those fillies were and colts in her class were really mean, but honestly, I that's how elementary school kids act, especially in medieval
Yes, it is.
times.
Well,
Medieval times, especially. So, because people didn't know what physical limitations were, they thought it was like witchcraft.
yeah.
Um, which is why, kind of why the response from the characters in the show is as negative as it is.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, just the importance of her learning how to stand up for herself
Hmm.
during that snow ceremony scene
Yeah.
is very very important.
Yeah, I could see that. And
Hmm.
believe me, I teach elementary school kids, and I've dealt with my share of bullies in the class. And I know it's hard for people that are being bullied. It's hard for teachers too. I
Hmm.
I want I could just go over and smack the bully and say, "Don't do that anymore." Smack. But
You're not
then
allowed to.
no, I'm not allowed to. And in
Yeah.
addition, that won't teach anybody anything because then I've just become the bully.
Hmm.
And it's difficult to find a balance. I try to work it into a situation where I will scold the bully for overtly acting, but then I'll give the person that was bullied a chance to succeed in the thing that the bully was teasing them about. Doesn't always work, but I
Yeah.
try.
Bullying, I mean, it's just such a delicate and almost a subjective subject
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
everybody gets bullied a different way.
Mhm. And I would
Everybody.
argue, possibly not intentionally, but I would argue most people are bullies at some point in their life as well.
Hmm. If anything, I mean, we even learned that from the ponies. We see
Sure.
Babs was a bully to avoid being bullied. That's how a lot of bullies are.
Yep.
They get bullied, so they bully in return
Yep.
so that they won't get hurt.
And in return, the Cutie Mark Crusaders became bullies to deal with a bully who had become a bully because of bullies.
It's just so, such a
You ever
cycle.
say a word too often and now you're not sure it sounds right, and I don't
Yes,
know how to
bully, bully,
spell
bully,
bully
bully, bully.
anymore.
Bully.
Bully,
It
bully, bully,
loses its
bully.
meaning.
Okay. Well, we touched on it a bit. Speaking of Snowdrop, and okay, incidentally, she gave you the green light. Everybody, make stuff with Snowdrop.
Please, I want to see it. I
Yeah,
love it.
really. But also Silly Philly Studios. You're one of the members of Silly Philly Studios.
hmm
How did you get started in that group?
Well, let's see. Uh, Last December.
Hmm.
So it was over a year ago now.
Mhm.
Gosh, that makes me feel old. Okay,
I
it was
found that,
over.
I'm sorry, just a quick interjection. I found for some
Mhm.
reason right now seems to be the time when a lot of bronies are like having problems remembering when things happened because they don't really believe it's been a year or 2 years ago.
Exactly. Well, I mean, it's been so long, and we're coming up on Silly Philly's own year anniversary. But let me explain that.
Okay, okay.
Let's see. Last December, Silly Philly Studios used to be something called Project Saturation,
Okay.
which was it was kind of the first fandom movie project kind of thing.
Okay.
This was before Journey of the Spark came out or
Right.
anything like that. Uh, and they were having auditions,
Hmm.
and I auditioned for Twilight Sparkle and Fluttershy.
Hmm.
I actually didn't get either
Oh.
at first, so I was a little upset. But I was about to go study abroad in Australia, so I was like, maybe there's a reason for that.
Hmm.
Maybe I'm just going to be too busy in Australia to do anything with it.
Could be, yeah.
Well, I think it was February.
Mm.
I got a message. They were having trouble scheduling meetings with their Fluttershy actress.
Oh, okay.
And they wanted me to come in and just be an understudy.
Okay.
And I was fine with that. I said, yeah, I'd help out.
Mm.
And I got together with the team, and we got to be really good friends. Everybody on Project Saturation was really close.
Hmm.
And eventually the Fluttershy actress, I believe, dropped out.
Oh.
And so they gave the part to me,
Okay.
which I was very excited. And then
Yeah.
around
I have to say really
May,
fast, that takes a lot of foresight. I know at least several off the top of my head groups that have had major problems with people leaving midway and they didn't have a backup. So
yes.
I'm sorry, but major props to having an understudy. But okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Not many people do have understudies, and I
Yeah.
can kind of understand why. But yeah, I got the part. But then around mid-May, the project had a lot of issues.
Mm.
There were a lot of issues with some of the members. There was drama that I won't go into that
Right, of
because
course.
that was just messy.
Okay.
But after that, the project was canceled.
Oh.
But we all wanted to stay together, the people that weren't involved in the drama.
Mm-hmm.
And we had been working on, our animator, Zedrin,
Mm-hmm.
had been working on little shorts as practice to be released kind of before the movie. And we decided, well, why don't we just work together and make shorts?
Mm-hmm.
So we became Silly Philly Studios, and we released Luna's Cutie Mark as our first animation. And I mean, ever since then, we've just been working
Mm-hmm.
really hard. Different shorts, different ideas. Everybody is allowed to contribute ideas.
How many people in total are a part of Silly Philly Studios? I
Oh,
apologize for my ignorance,
goodness.
but I really don't. Okay, I'm sorry. General. I mean, are we talking
Right.
like a group of 50 or so?
Oh no, I believe it's about 29 or 30 at this point.
Okay, that's still significant.
Yeah, we have voice actors, we have writers, we have composers, we have artists, we have background artists, vector artists, and of course animators.
Right.
So we've got quite a few people on the team.
Yeah, yeah.
hmm
Do you have anybody who is the designated do-nothing mid-boss?
No, everybody in
Okay,
the
that's
everybody
good.
in the group does something.
Okay,
Everybody in the group does something. Zedrin's kind of the boss. He's
okay,
he's taking on that leader role, but I mean he's the head animator.
right.
And it's really nice because even though he is the leader for a lot of things, our group is really it's well, one, it's a family, but two, it's kind of a democracy. So everybody has an equal say.
That's good.
Everybody gets to help.
That's
We
good.
we make sure that everybody has something that they can be doing
Right.
to help out,
Sure.
which is really nice. And like I said, everybody can contribute different ideas. We've got an idea box and scripts just waiting in the wings
Mm-mm.
for the next time we can actually vote on what project we do next.
Ooh, cool.
We've got so many projects up ahead of us, though, that probably won't be for a while.
Yeah, that tends to happen.
Yes. I believe we've got 3 or 4 projects right now in the
Ooh.
wings.
Wow.
So, I mean, we've got things to finish.
Yeah.
But we should be finishing one of them soon.
Oh, good.
So, mhm.
Yay.
Yes, and it's a comedy. So
Okay.
I can't tell you much more than that, but it's a comedy and it's really
I
fun.
am vehemently anti-spoiler, even if it's for a fan project. So, honestly, I wouldn't even ask you for a preview if you were able to give me one. I would rather be surprised. Just telling me it's a comedy, wonderful preview. I will check it out, and that's
It's
all.
a comedy and it's hysterical.
Well, now
I
you've
watched
just
the
ruined it.
animatic and I
That was
laughed.
too much information.
Oh no! Oh no!
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Right.
Oh,
It will be funny. It might I mean, I don't know. I hope people get the humor.
right.
Some people really will and some people will. I think some people really will. But
I don't know why, but just for some reason, the idea came to me of a really fast short where it turns out that Snowdrop has the Hulk's powers and actually was the Wendigos.
Snowdrop will not be appearing.
No, just
So
Snowdrop would be the Wendigos, and just Snowdrop gets
Snowdrop would be
angry
the
and becomes a
Wendigos.
Wendigo.
That would be interesting. I've never heard that before.
Yay, original idea. Woo! Okay.
No, Snowdrop. People keep asking us if we're going to be making Snowdrop 2, and we will not be making Snowdrop 2.
Yeah,
Snowdrop is done. Snowdrop is completed.
Yeah.
It's time to work on something new.
Yeah, the story had a finality to it. There was no to be continued. It is a complete story in of itself. I appreciate that you're not trying to mine it for more than what it has.
Yeah, I don't wanna go into what happened between the first snowflake falling and the last snowflake falling, because I wanted to give that kind of to the fans.
Yeah.
Just to imagine what they think happened.
Right.
And it's been really interesting to see all the different theories that come up. I mean, I have my own headcanon about that, but I don't want to share it too much because I like to hear what other people have to say.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, I know. Okay, Snowdrop totally made snowflakes have 6 sides because she foresaw the arrival of the main 6 and wanted to give each one of them a different side of the snowflake, right?
How did you know?
Woohoo! I'm smart.
How did you know?
I am so smart.
Because we definitely thought about that when we actually. It's really funny the way that we did the first snowflake. I can't even remember who made it. I think it was one of our vector artists for sure.
Right, okay.
Oh no. Oh, I think it was one of our background artists. I told him to just make the crappiest snowflake he's ever seen in his life. He sends it to me and it looks like a good snowflake. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Imagine if I drew it and make that into a snowflake. He sends it. It's still pretty good. I'm like, you clearly overestimate my drawing skills. And I like draw something up really hastily in paint. And I send it to him and he's like, what is this? I'm like, it's a snowflake. Make it. So that's how the first snowflake came to be.
MS Paint created the first snowflake. Woo!
Yes.
That's wonderful.
It's like, imagine if I drew it. That's the first snowflake.
You know, I think it would be funny if just for an April Fool's Day joke, if everybody in Silly Philly Studios changed jobs. We just had some of the vector artists write the scripts, and you did the vector art, and just everybody change jobs, release it in a full day, just have one day to work on it, and release it and just see what pops up.
That would be so funny. The only problem though is that I don't have Flash, so, and I don't think
True.
the other. We'd have to give the animator jobs to people who aren't animators but still have Flash.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if any of the voice actors have Flash. That would be funny.
I think so. I'm trying to push that for next year's EFN. You know, just everybody hosts somebody else's show for a week and see what happens. And the bad thing would happen if nobody noticed. That would really you didn't know I was on his show. Okay.
Or the incredibly good thing, because that means that you guys did your jobs correctly.
Yeah, very true.
No, I mean, I don't even know what we're going to be doing next April. So
yeah, I mean that is a long way away. It is May now. I realize.
I mean, we'll probably get all of the projects in the wings done by that time. So I'm guessing we'll have something new.
Yeah.
I have a couple scripts in the wings as well. So those will be up for voting. but it just depends on what people feel like making. If they feel like making a comedy, if they feel like making another drama, if they feel like making something actiony.
Right.
We've got pretty much everything.
Mhm.
So it all depends on what they feel like making at the time.
I'm thinking like Keystone Cops. We'll make a silent movie, jerky, grainy,
Stick figures.
12 frames per second.
Oh, that would be terrible.
Yeah. No.
It'd be perfect. There you go. That's our April Fool's project.
Oh, I'm shuddering at the idea.
I'll have to talk it over with the animators.
I think we can hear them now. No.
Actually, no, one of our animators might laugh, but
Okay.
the other one would be like, no.
When you're working with the characters, let's do it specifically when you're voicing some characters.
Mhm.
Not even necessarily Pony, but what is one of the more difficult voices that you've had to do?
Oh, let's see.
Just came out as a challenge for you, but I mean you were able to get it eventually. Just
Right. Actually, the toughest voice that I've ever had to do was not Pony.
okay.
It's a mouse character that I do for an animator. He does kind of 3D animation tutorials.
Okay.
And she's a little mouse, and she's really cute. Her name is Lily, and she's just so loud and hyper. And his inspiration for her voice was Dee Dee from Dexter's Lab.
Got it.
And when I sent him my samples, I was going too high.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very hard to kind of have that balance between very loud and hyper and still a normal tone of voice.
Right.
That wasn't too high and squeaky. So,
Gotcha.
Which is hard because she was a mouse, but she's really fun. I've gotten to do her a few times. I think I did her for him last month. Actually, so something new should be coming out with her soon. But it was just really hard, and it's also really hard too because there are some times where she has to be extra super dramatic, and sometimes where she just has to be completely flat. And then there are some times where she just goes completely bipolar and she talks like this. But so I mean, she's just a very difficult character to pin down.
Right.
I think it's because Twilight is very normal, and then there's Fluttershy who's always kind of like this. Though Fluttershy shouting is difficult.
Right.
But and I do an Octavia, and Octavia's pretty easy other than the accent sometimes. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the mouse is definitely the one with the most range.
I have heard, I think it was Billy West was mentioning it, that when he's doing voices, even multiple voices, it's fine for him to do the voice, and even the voice singing isn't too difficult. It's just when the voice has to do extra stress that they don't usually do that makes it difficult because it's not in the usual area that the voice is in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's because it starts to revert back into your normal voice, which you can't do.
Right.
And I've actually had that problem singing sometimes too, especially singing as Fluttershy.
Okay.
But I'm getting better at it. It just takes a lot of practice.
Sure.
It takes a lot of practice, and I don't think a lot of people realize just how much practice it can take.
Yeah. Yeah, I think voice acting is similar to, I think there are some jobs or some occupations or even some hobbies that some people feel they can do because it sounds like it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
I use the example of nobody pretends that they can be a doctor unless you have hiccups.
I mean, just like anything, it takes practice. So, my voice when I was starting out was actually really weak.
Okay.
I couldn't, because the first job that I really had was fighting as magic. So I had to do those lines actually over a period of days because my voice would break, and I wasn't used to shouting. I'm a very quiet person normally.
Right.
So and I actually, since I am pretty shy in real life, so especially back then when I was going to class, and it was the beginning of the year when you don't really know anybody.
Right.
I wasn't talking very much because I didn't know what to say. Mm-hmm. So my voice would break a lot, especially when I had to do the final moves. And I was also working with a really awful headset microphone, so there was that. But
I've
yeah,
only used, I mean, I suppose I should save up for a nice one, but honestly, right now I'm using a headset mic that I got for $20,
yeah.
and I love it. I really
I mean,
do.
they're good for a year or so, but then they start to wear down.
Yes. Yeah.
Right now, I had a snowball, and then the snowball broke. So right now I'm using a Samson CO1U, which is really nice. And it wasn't that expensive.
That's good.
But yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter how good your mic is, though. If you don't practice with your voice and strengthen your voice up, you aren't going to get anything done.
Absolutely. It's the equivalent of buying the absolute best bike helmet in the world if you still can't remember how to pedal.
Yep. But you need a good mic if you're going to want to do anything on the internet in terms of voice acting.
Very true. Or to a professional level, anyway.
Yeah. So, I mean, it takes practice.
Yep, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Anything worth doing does.
Yep.
Ooh, okay. What if you wanted to be good at practicing things, though? How could you practice that?
I guess it would depend on. I guess you would just practice everything, and then you would get really good at it.
We'll change the Twilight message of record everything to practice everything.
Practice everything. And then just make the problem if you can't figure it out.
There we go.
I'll make a friendship problem.
I had one of my students actually put their... It was an adult student who was watching Lesson Zero, and she was really enjoying it because she had, stressful times in her own life at that point. But yeah, when Twilight suddenly popped out of the ball, "Hi, girls!"
Hi, girls!
She involuntarily clapped both of her hands to her mouth and kind of...
It's
so funny.
Aww.
I have to admit, I do love it when a reserved person has a strong reaction to Pony. I really do.
Yes. It is very funny.
Yep. This is the same student who, when I was trying to introduce the idea, would you like to study Pony? We started with Smile Song. Or we started with the A Friend Indeed episode.
Oh, okay.
And we read through, the first part of it, and then I said, okay, now here is where Pinky's going to be singing. And we read through the song, and then we played the song, and but I said, okay, well, we're going to try to sing the chorus for this when we get to it. And you can sing along. This is karaoke style. She was crying by the end.
Aww.
She had just had the worst week ever, and it was, and just she recognized when reading it, she's like, well, this is very happy. This is very peppy. And when it was singing, it was easy to sing along to, and she saw just Pinky bounding along with boundless energy and smiling for the only reason that you need to smile is to smile, and just really touched her. Yeah, it was great.
It's just amazing how many emotions that this show can evoke out of people.
I know. We just actually, my class, I just finished a few hours ago. We watched the end of The Secret of My Excess. They were getting really upset because Spike is their favorite cute character, and he was not being cute.
Yeah.
They were getting angry at Spike. Every time he changed a little bit more, they're like, no!
Oh, but then he gets better at the end.
Yeah, he gets better, and Rarity puts her hoof to his mouth to stop him from confessing, and they went, oh!
Oh, because she already knows.
I know. Yep. Is there a character, and again, not necessarily Pony, is there a character you are kind of hoping somebody would ask you to do at some point?
Oh, goodness. I mean, anything Disney would make me happy.
Right.
But, I don't know. I like the characters that I voice now. I wish I was good at Rarity because I would really, really love to play Rarity in something. Right. But my voice tone just doesn't really match what Rarity's would do.
Gotcha.
I am practicing, so maybe someday I'll get good enough at it.
Right.
Rarity would probably be the one that I would be most interested in that I haven't voiced before. But Fluttershy is my favorite, and I connect most with Fluttershy. So the fact that I get to voice Fluttershy just makes me very happy.
That is good, yes.
Yeah. So it's funny because pretty much everybody in Silly Philly, who has their specific voice acting role,
Yep.
they connect personally to the character that they voice act with.
Oh, that's nice. That's good.
Which is really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think, and again, I'm not a voice actor, not even semi, but I would think it would be almost an extra challenge for you guys in that you're not inventing a voice of your own, but you're trying to sound like a voice that is already out there. Because
It is.
I just know that Rob Paulson in his podcast has said that a lot of his voices have come when he tries to imitate somebody else doing a voice. And he doesn't get it exactly, but he finds something new, and he's like, well, let's use this for something else then.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not exactly something you can do. You have to, don't have to, but it's probably best for you to try and sound as much like the original character as you can.
Exactly, yes. And mimicking and making up your own voice are two completely different things.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting because a lot of people say that Snowdrop, for example, sounded a lot like Fluttershy. Well, I think that's because when I was starting out, I was trying to figure out the Philly voices too. And I practiced Fluttershy Philly a lot.
Okay.
So I think that actually bled into my Snowdrop voice, but I was trying to give her more of a rasp because I didn't want her to be the same.
Right.
So it's interesting how the mimic voice can bleed into the original voice, but it's also because voice actors themselves, I mean, we only have so much of a range that we can hit.
True.
So our voice is going to sound like our voice, and pretty much everything that we do. A lot of people say, when I talk to them, they say, oh my gosh, you sound like Twilight. No, I sound like me. This is just how I do my Twilight voice. So. And I raise it up a bit and I make it a little more proper, but it's basically me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the best part about voice acting. If you want to start voice acting, you don't want to stretch your voice too much. You want to find what's great about your own voice and play that up.
Yeah.
So.
And, I have heard that it's not so much what voice you can reach, but you need to be able to sustain that voice. I mean, especially if it's something professional, you're going to have to do that voice for a few seasons. So
yes. And you're going to have to be able to act in that voice.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not just making a funny voice, it's making a funny voice and then portraying emotion in it too. So, I mean, it's something that you have to hold on to.
Yeah. I mean, I can make a raspberry sound like anybody, but I don't know that I could specifically act a sad raspberry. Can I do a sad raspberry? All right, not bad. Okay.
That works. That works.
Yay, I've got a new OC I need to make. Raspberry.
It's like if somebody pokes you in the stomach to tell you to stop raspberrying, and you're like, oh, okay.
All right.
All right. Okay.
I'm halfway considering making an OC now named Raspberry who just only speaks with and nobody invites him to their house anymore, so he's kind of sad and dejected, but has to stick to his cutie mark.
You have to make him look like some kind of raspberry dessert if you make him.
If I want to go 80s, I could give him a beret.
There you go.
Oh, who's going to get that joke again? But raspberry beret, I don't know. Zooming sound you hear is that joke going way over the head of everybody who's listening, but that's okay.
I'm a 90s kid, I'm sorry. Little Mermaid was born before me.
Ouch! Hurt. Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's all right. I've grown to accept it because I know that everybody will have one of those old age moments in their life at some point.
Oh, I've already had a couple. It's all good.
Yep. Okay. Well, a question that I ask in all of my interviews. In all of My Little Pony, what would you say is the one line or one scene that defines you as a brony?
Let me think. This is hard.
Yeah. Trademark OsakaJack question. It is. It's mine. I claim to it. Been using it for 6 months now. I'm very proud of it.
I mean, Fluttershy in general kind of defines me as a brony because of the way that she evolves throughout the show.
Okay.
You see her barely being able to talk to anyone.
True.
And then all of a sudden she has friends and she can talk to the random strangers in the town even.
Yeah, that's true.
And when I first got into the show, I was really shy. I maybe had 3 or 4 pretty good friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I had my friends that I had made on my the forum that I ran.
Right.
But other than that, I didn't really talk to many people because I was afraid of people. I didn't have the best high school experience in the world.
Oh,
so
I'm sorry.
I was no. I mean, who does have a good high school experience?
Yeah, but still, I understand.
But yeah, it just kind of made me afraid of people for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I also had a lot of siblings who were much louder than me. So I mean, I was kind of soft-spoken. I didn't really talk to many people. And then through the fandom, I met so many just nice people.
Yeah.
Just nice, legitimately nice people. And I didn't think that there were as many people out there that were as legitimately nice as the people I was meeting.
It's a sad fact, and I can relate to that very, very well. But it's a sad fact that the nastiest people are often the loudest, and unfortunately tend to drown out the nice ones.
Yeah.
And that's a shame, but it's the truth. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why. I mean, from oh goodness, something very loud is outside my window. I hope that's not coming in.
Kind of, but that's okay.
Sorry. Well, what I was saying was, that's why, I mean, through this fandom, I've kind of made it my own personal pledge that I will be more outgoing and talk to more people, because I want to be legitimately nice to people. I want to be that person that makes them smile.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. This fandom has just made me realize that if I talk to other people, it's not the end of the world.
Very true.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think really Fluttershy's whole journey through the seasons has kind of...
What would you think one of the defining points showing that she has grown? Can you think of specific moments that shows her growth?
Definitely her interactions with Iron Will, obviously, were part of them.
Absolutely.
But then also when she was willing to go and help, even though she didn't feel like she could do much of anything with the tornado.
Oh, Hurricane Fluttershy, yes.
Yes, Hurricane Fluttershy. When she felt like she couldn't do anything, but she still went to try.
Yeah.
I don't think episode 1 Fluttershy would have done that at all.
No, very true. Well, even just the difference between season 1 and season 2. I mean, right now in Japan, for me, starting in a few hours, will be Dragon Shy. Mm-hmm. And Fluttershy doesn't mention that she's petrified of dragons until they get to the top. Eventually, she's able to talk to the dragon. But fast forward just 1 season, Secret of My Excess, she's still scared of the dragon. But when it starts to attack Pinkie Pie, she runs with the rest of the group to go confront it.
Exactly.
Plus, she's just so darn cute when she does that stuff. And I'm still holding on to hope that Iron Will come back. I liked him so much.
Well, I don't know. I think Gilda will probably come back before Iron Will.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's my bet. That is my bet. Gilda will come back. Or Lightning Dust. One of the two.
I can see the two of them becoming fast friends.
Yes, me too.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I had an idea that, it never came to fruition, but I had an idea that Rainbow Dash would go to a Daring Do convention and would find a disguised Gilda who was embarrassed to be seen with other Daring Do fans.
Can you even imagine how much fun DHX would have with a nerd convention episode?
I know!
After everything that's happened.
I know!
They would be able to parody the bronies in Daring Do form. It would be the best episode ever.
This is what I'm saying. Yep.
Oh.
I still refuse to write a fiction about it just in case it comes to fruition. I don't want this to be something that can't be done because of my idea.
Oh my gosh. Well, they don't even read the fanfics, so...
I know, that's true.
That's why somebody asked me once, they were like, do you think the writers have seen Snowdrop? And I'm like, no, they wouldn't be allowed to watch that. I don't think, anyway.
I'm not sure on Snowdrop. Possibly
I'd love
not.
for them to watch it, but,
yeah.
I don't think they're allowed. So,
yeah.
I'm not going to force it or push it.
Sure. Yeah.
Or send them lots of emails like, watch my animation. No,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do that.
I hate to see the kind of bubble or the balloon deflate when I mention it, but yeah, fiction writers, if a writer reads your work, they can never use that idea in the show.
Hmm.
Ever.
So they've got to be really careful.
Yeah.
Now I know the storyboard artists can watch Snowdrop because I think I heard one of them did.
I'm sure.
But which made me really happy. I was so happy. They were like, "Yeah, this person watched Snowdrop." I was like, "Really? No way."
It is a good feeling.
Oh, so good.
Well, real fast, I just want to mention it very briefly, but you do have a board that you run.
I do. Yes, it's not Pony, but I
Not
do.
Pony, but yeah.
It's anime. It's One Piece. I actually I have been running One Piece forums. I've been a part of One Piece forums since my sophomore year of high school, but I've been running them, or at least part of the staff, since about junior or senior year of high school. So about 5 years.
That's a long time. Wow.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, I'm running one. It's pretty small right now, and because of finals, a lot of things have slowed down,
Of course.
which is kind of sad. But I really love it because it's a group of my friends that I made even before Ponies, and it's One Piece people. And before Ponies, One Piece was my big fandom love.
Right.
So.
Which I have to say, I've mentioned it to you before, but that's rare for me to encounter somebody in an English-speaking country who's a fan of One Piece.
Oh yes, One Piece is the best.
It's
so
so huge over here, and I can get so many toys and fandom stuff, and nobody's a fan of it, so nobody wants it. I'm like,
oh, One Piece is amazing. And my site's amazing too. It's all, I mean, you know, it's writing RP. I'm a creative writing major, so like, you know, text RP is my thing. But I have my own pirate ship, and I do all that nerdy stuff. And my character has the glitter fruit, which is really funny. It's fun to use.
Yeah.
It's really random, but it's fun to use. So, I mean, you know, like I said, it's small, but it was my first love, so I still run it. Yeah. I will find it very funny if anybody now asks me to look at that forum, because
I'm just waiting for the One Piece pony.
there have been One Piece pony things.
Like, I want to see a plushie. I want to see somebody take a Stretch Armstrong doll and make a.
Oh my gosh!
Just make a Duffy pony out of it.
I think you'd have to commission that.
Yeah, probably. I don't have money, but that would be cool, wouldn't it? Just stretch out pony. Boom.
So cool.
Uh-huh.
But I'd want a Chopper one because Chopper's my favorite.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Chopper is my fave. But he's already a reindeer. I mean, you know, he's already.
We've seen zebras on the show. There's no reason to believe that other hooved mammals won't make an appearance at some point.
Right, but it's just a little odd, like commissioning a reindeer into a pony into
yeah, that would be odd. Yes, very
into
true.
a plushie. Into
I could just hear the artist. Yeah, I want this reindeer turned into a pony.
Just make the nose blue.
What?
Just give it a nose and make it blue.
How do you want me to do this? I don't understand. Okay.
Well, we all know that. I mean, at least, I mean, I heard that Lauren Faust did want to put deer in the show. Yeah. So, yeah.
You know, it's not that it won't happen; just hasn't happened yet. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yep. She had that episode planned out about the deer who thinks he's a pony.
Yep.
So.
That would be fun.
That would be the best.
Is there any other project that you'd like to plug while you're here? We mentioned that you're going to be going to BronyCon.
Yes, I'm going to BronyCon. I am going to a small convention in Tampa.
What's the name?
The Grand Galloping Gala BronyCon, I believe.
Okay. That's
a long name.
That's a mouthful. Okay.
Yes. So I'm going to be doing a voice acting panel there with Ali Oopster and Wolfie. There are 2 other voice actors in the fandom.
Right.
And that's only a day-long one. It's really small. Let's see. Other projects, though. I'm not doing much besides silly Philly stuff right now because I don't know what my Disney situation is going to be like until I get there.
Very true.
I want to start doing my own thing where I either do Moftavia Tumblr dubs, if you know what Moftavia is.
I don't.
Moftavia it's a Tumblr blog run by Zed.
Okay.
And it's all about cider prohibition in the 1920s. And
I see.
Octavia is a cider runner.
Gotcha.
She helps the Apple family out.
Right. Okay.
It's really good. But it's either going to be that or I want to do more. I did a song a while back when Twilight first got her wings. Mm-hmm. It was a Lion King parody.
Okay, that's right. Yes.
Yes, I just can't wait to have wings.
My wings, right?
I want to do more Disney pony crossover songs.
Okay.
I've got a couple in the works. I just haven't had time to record anything.
Right.
Because I've been so busy.
Sure.
And hanging out with family before I move.
Very important. Very important.
I want to see my family.
Mm-hmm.
But let me think. I don't know. If people wanna comment anywhere that I can see it about which they would rather see, then I'll know what to work on first. But I don't know if I should do 1920s Octavia or Part of Your World Fluttershy.
We'll combine them. Do a 1920s Disney.
That would be interesting.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of something from the 20s Disney, and I can only think Steamboat Willie. So you'd have to do Turkey in the Straw.
Well, Princess and the Frog was kind of set in that era.
That's true.
I could do something. Well, I can't exactly get a Tiana voice because I'm white as Wonder Bread.
Right.
I can't get the soul voice down, but I could do something along the lines, I guess.
Yeah. Gosh, I'm trying to think of another 1920s style Disney themed thing.
There's plenty of Mickey shorts. There's plenty of Oswald shorts. Not many people know what Oswald is, which makes me
Oswald
really
the Lucky Rabbit. Of course,
he's my favorite. I collect Disney pins, and whenever a Disney pin comes up of him, I have to get it.
Right.
Oswald. I'm really glad that they got Oswald back because now he's starting to show up in the parks again.
Good. That's wonderful.
There's in Disneyland in California Adventure, they have a whole shop dedicated to him,
nice.
And they have plushies and sell art, and I got a plushie.
Nice.
I was so happy.
I have to admit, it's been a few years, but I have seen Oswald merchandise in Tokyo Disneyland.
Oswald is very popular in Tokyo.
Yes. I don't understand why.
I think it's because the company that had Oswald before Disney bought it back did a lot of marketing in Japan.
Makes sense. I mean,
he was very popular in Japan.
Some of the more popular Disney characters over here, of course, Mickey is very popular. Donald, Daisy, Miss Bunny.
Miss Bunny. Mm-hmm.
Miss Bunny is huge over here.
I don't really know why Miss Bunny is so big, but yeah, Miss Bunny and Duffy is Duffy's becoming a big deal here too. But Duffy and his girlfriend, what's his girlfriend's name?
Oh, I've lost it off the top of my head.
May. I can't remember. I'm gonna have to look it up because that's gonna bother me.
Right.
But Miss Bunny, Duffy, Stitch is very popular over there, isn't he?
Stitch is very popular. I tell you, one character who just most people in America who are familiar with Disney lore know this character, but are shocked at how popular this character is. Marie.
Oh, Marie's becoming pretty popular over here too, though.
Really? Okay.
Yes, Marie is gaining in popularity here.
Every shop in Tokyo Disneyland has Marie items. Mm-hmm. Every single one.
Marie is becoming very popular. And it's Shelly May. Duffy's girlfriend is Shelly May.
Gotcha.
Who hasn't shown up here yet. So people pay a lot of money if they're Disney fans for a Shelly May. It is really funny.
So they shell out for Shelly May?
They shell out for Shelly May.
I can do humor jokes. Okay. Well, everybody, we have been speaking with Meredith Sims. Thank you very much for coming by today.
Of course. It was fun. Thank you for having me.
Everyone, this says be sure to check her out on. You have a YouTube channel.
I have a YouTube channel, and it's not my name. I wish I could change it. I made it up in middle school. It was my anime Chan phase. Right. It's EMICHWAN 88 Emichwan 88. And I have a Twitter VA Snapdragon, like the flower.
Yep.
And I have a Tumblr under Emichwan 88 too. I don't know if anybody wants to follow me. I don't do much with
I'll
it.
put links on here, and if somebody wishes to, that's fine.
Great. Thank you.
Everybody, we have been speaking with Meredith Sims. Be sure to follow her on Tumblr, Twitter, and YouTube. And thank you for coming by.
Thank you so much.
Everyone, this has been Into the Spotlight with OsakaJack on Everfree Network. We'll catch you next time.